Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh.
Okay, friends, now we are coming from group 2. We want to make a presentation that is about analyzing critical incidents. And now I want to introduce three of our groups. For the first is me, as Tina Naimatur Rohmah, and then Mbak Azizah, and then Mbak Sophie. Okay, for the first, she want to presentation for Mbak Azizah. Okay, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Butina. For the
You're
first
welcome.
is the nature of critical incidents. As we can see in the screen, that a critical incident is an unplanned and unanticipated event that occurs during a lesson and that serves to trigger insights about some aspect of teaching and learning. Critical incident analysis in teaching involves the documentation and analysis of teaching incidents in order to learn from them and improve practice. An event becomes a critical incident depending on the way it is considered and the effects it has on one's understanding of teaching. It is the interpretation and meaning attributed to an incident that make it critical. Next is cause and benefit of analyzing critical incidents. Exploring critical incidents can have a number of benefits. The first is it can serve as a form of reflective inquiry. The second, help identify and resolve problems. Third is it can serve to identify good practice, and it can give teachers a heightened sense of professional awareness. Next is analyzing critical incidents can facilitate professional development in a number of ways. The first is it can create a greater level of self-awareness. It can encourage teachers to pose critical questions about teaching. It can help bring beliefs to the level of awareness. It can create opportunities for action research. It can help build a community of critical practitioners. And it can provide a resource for teachers. About procedures will be presented by Butina.
Okay, thank you a lot from Mbak Aziza. This is my turn for presentation about procedure used for analyzing critical incidents. Next, please. Okay, anatomy of a critical incident. Critical incidents can reveal some of the underlying. For the first is principles, and then for the second is beliefs, and for the third is assumptions that shapes classroom practices. And then for 1993, that is suggests that there are two stages to understanding a critical incident. That is for the first stage is to describe the incidents, and for the second is to explain its meaning. That's what and the why. The why of the something it should be do like that. And then anatomy of a critical incident, that if there is incidents, of course there will be comes the critical incidents. For the first is describe incidents, suggest explanation meaning within the immediate context. For the first, he soon raised her hand and asked if she could speak her native language in class. That is the example. And then it is the way she is supposed to ask the teacher if she can do so. And then it means that he soon is confirming to the rule of this class language in class. That is we can see that is the describing of incidents. That's the incidents. We want to know about the rules, about the limitation of the rules in the class. And then find a more general meaning and classification or significance of the incidents. It is an example of the limits of students' anatomy, autonomy, initiative, and responsibility in the school. So we can now about the responsibility of the student in the school. from the person or the student asking about the limitation of the rules by ask of the teachers. Okay, next. Preparing and analyzing critical incidents report. For the first field, 1999 suggests that the reporting of the such critical incidents, or written or spoken, should follow specific steps. For the first is self-observation. We should know for the student characteristic, that is for self-observation, and then for the second, describing what happened in the problem, what happened in the incidents, and then for the third, self-awareness. We should know it everything, and then self-awareness from the students we should know. And then for the fourth, self-evaluations. For everything we have done, for the last, we should do self-evaluation for the student or for the problem, for the incidents. That's it. Okay, and then personal critical incidents. When reflecting on critical incidents within one's teaching career, answer to the following questions might be sought. Barrett, 1990. Oh, this is the example of these questions. Why did I become a language teacher? That is for investigate for about the teacher. Why you should be a teacher? Why you should be an English teacher? And then for the second questions, do these reasons still exist for me and now? And how has my background shaped the way in I teach? For the fourth, what does it mean to be a language teacher? Is the teacher I am the person I am? And then is the teacher I am the person I am? Give the questions to yourself if you want to make a investigate about you. Okay, next. Mbak Jija, please. Okay, thank you so much. That is my turn, and then we want to next to Mbak Sophie. This is your turn, Mbak Sophie. Please, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Butina. For the next is implementing critical and incident. Implementing critical incident analysis. Who is the audience for the analysis from the first? Audience may be include the teacher, other teacher, for example, in discussion group. Okay, next. Okay. What kind of incident are you full to write about? You can choose either to write about whatever kinds of incident occur or to focus on particular kinds of incidents depending on your goals. If you make a critical incident analysis the focus of a discussion group, you might choose to focus on particular kinds of incident. Example, those relating to class management, teaching strategies, or learning style. You can choose both of them or one of them. The group then meets from time to time to discuss and reflect on the incident its members have experienced. Next. Okay, how much time will it take? Now, it's talk about time. One of drawbacks of analyzing critical incident is finding time to write down an incident after the class. You can write down all the incident after the class. You can write on the book, yeah, to make some note. One way to counteract this is to talk in a recorder directly after the incident or class and write it out. Sorry, can you back? Okay, and write it out later from reflection. This way, none of the details
will be omitted because of a time or fatigue contracts directly after the class. Next. Okay, the incidents in the collection are described in three-part format. For the first is context. It must be has a context. Where is the teacher is working? Nah, the context. Okay, problem. You have to describe a problem of the incident. A solution response. Nah, you have to give some solution response. Yeah, how the teacher responded to the incident. Okay, next. Okay, so this is a summary. So the conclusion is critical. Some summary for all the point of this topic. Critical incidents are unplanned incidents that happen in the teaching and learning process and serve to treasure teaching knowledge. Critical incident analysis involves documenting and reflecting on such incident whether as an individual or in collaborative activities. Although it can be an activities for its own sake, it is best to combine one or more activities, such as journal writing or creating teaching portfolio, when analyzing critical incident. Next. Thank you, and I will give it to Azizah.
Okay, thank you so much, Mbak Sophie, for your presentations. Now, thank you for your presentation also, Mbak Aziza. Okay, I think enough for today's presentation about critical incidents. So we can know about everything we need about critical incidents. We have already give prepare to you. Okay, thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. You're welcome, Ibu.
Thank you.